You know, it's funny. Everybody always tells me, like, Gary, why do you waste all this time doing your own deliveries? I do almost every delivery for our company. And they think anybody could do this. And you know, I want to admit right here, right now, I love doing deliveries. It's so much fun. I get to drive around in my truck, listen to music, wear flip-flops, stop and jump in rivers along the way, go mountain biking on trails that I normally don't have time to get to. I get to look at all kinds of cool scenery. It's like a Zen experience. You get to drive everywhere. You even get to spot rare palms in someone's garden that might not want them. And then you basically can make a deal like right then and there. So anyway, there's lots of beneficial things. There's also the fact that when I do deliveries, I tend not to crash the truck and ruin the truck, which has happened before. It's funny that the way it works when you don't own the truck, it gets crashed much more often than when the guy that actually owns the truck drives it, which has been never. Knock on wood somewhere. So anyway, I do all the deliveries, but today, basically, I'm doing a delivery in Hercules, California. Now, Hercules, right, we all know, was a Greek god. So it's fitting that the delivery address that I'm delivering to here in Hercules looks like the entrance to a temple for a Greek god with the Italian Cypress. Now, Italian Cypress is Cupressus sempervirens. Sempervirens means it's the same name as the California redwood. It means ever living. And the reason that, everybody knows about the redwood, but this is native to Europe, this plant here. And there are specimens that are over 1,000 years old, which is pretty much ever living when you compare that to our lifespan. So you can see, there's this sort of court here. It's kind of, like there's the same entrance over there, and you've kind of got to, see your neighbors and everything on the way out. But the person who lived here had the ingenious idea to put this massive row of Italian cypress here, obviously very long ago, because these are very old established plants. And I don't have a video on the Italian cypress. So when you have a very narrow area, look, we only have like 5 feet between the neighbor's lawn and the driveway. What do? You put in a massive wall of Italian cypress. And it's quite striking. Look at this. You feel totally protected in here. You can see what it's like when you go by and you don't see your neighbor. And you have this wonderful green wall. This is used in Disneyland all the time because they have very narrow passages of planting width, and they basically want to screen out all kinds of things. And you can see what this is like here. And so this is Brad. Brad is the recipient of a beautiful collection of king palms from yours truly. So what was your experience at Golden Gate Palms? How bad was it to deal with those people?
It was great. Kyle, Gary, you guys have really taken care of me. We love our palms.
Right.
We come to you guys all the time.
Well, thank you very much for coming by. Now, this is not too late for you, but it is too late for Brad. Brad did not read the product warning label on our website in time before he became afflicted with this disease that you can pick up at our nursery. I'm sorry about that, Brad. But now there's no way back now. It's a one-way street. So anyway, make sure you read the product warning label before you come into our site. It's at goldengatepalms.com. Upper right corner of every single page in bold red print is the product warning label. Click on that. Read that before you come down to the nursery, please. I've had a lot of problems with people not reading that before they come. But on to another subject. So you have your king palms here. This is great. We don't even want to talk about the king palms because we're talking about the Italian cypress. Tell me why you bought this place.
Because we just came up and thought it was so impressive through the driveway, the trees. Just makes an impression. Love it.
Right. So do you know much about Italian cypress other than the fact that when you came to buy this house, you're like fell in love with this whole scene?
Well, we know that they can survive a drought because there was a drought pretty serious here when we bought here. So
right. You don't know any of the history of anybody who lived here and what their whole thinking was. It's a brilliant idea to do this.
Yeah. No, I really don't know, but we have only a couple feet on either side of the driveway. I don't know what else we really could have done here.
Right on. Cool. Well, there you go. You heard it from Brad. He's now an expert in Italian cypress. This plant is native to the Mediterranean, does extremely well here. You'll see it often planted in cemetery situations, but you can see for the living people, it's also a wonderful solution. And we don't often sell this plant. In fact, we never stock this plant, but if you decide you want a whole bunch of these, we can special order them. And now it's time for me to go home. It's a Saturday. I'm working on a Saturday. It's time for me to go and relax a little bit. Thank you, Brad, for all your support.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
All right.